Peace, everyone, peace. So we got some people up in here already. We got Fine Standing on the early knowledge born. Smell Goods, Wise You, Khalid Gassil. We got Ibn Arabi, VC Realm, West Coast Wise. We got the Word Smith is here. 793rd, Shaquem, Guy C. All right. Just taking it a little bit easy. When y'all let me know when we got enough people. We got enough people that we can get into the topic of the civilization class. The big eyes and the little U's. Young Dove. What's going on, Young Dove? Smith. The word Smith doesn't quit. God I be. Ready? We don't have what did I miss crew? Are we gonna wait for any people from the What Did I Miss crew before we get into the topic of the guys on the news? Tell John, give whoever it is that you tell, right? When you run to go tell, go get that person now. So we don't have to beat around questions. Nah, I didn't see it yet. West Coast Wise said if just dropped the video. Yeah, nah, I didn't see it. West Coast Wise building. Well, if pretty much if you come across and but like you said, it's just a matter of then, what it is that you drop. You know what I'm saying? But if it definitely give you a shot at the big time. God I be said looks like Eric Adams is gonna win. But yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be a good thing. Dr. Vinci. Because I just don't like a lot of his ideas that he comes up with as solutions. I never really, I never shared that that mindset that, the best way for you to fix the system is to become a part of the system. Like I never really, my analogy for that is, listen, you cannot clean the toilet from inside the toilet. Like once you get in the toilet, you contaminate it too. That's the problem. And in that instance, that's what I thought about Eric Adams from the time I first started seeing him with the 100 Blacks in law enforcement. And, he pretty much expressed that that was his mindset. You understand? And then what really, really, really caused me to not like him as a politician. Like I could have looked past the police stuff. I could have looked past him being police. But what I didn't like was that he was running for office the first time he was running. And one of the things that he said during his campaign is he spoke on how the police commissioners was giving out orders, to do things that he knew would be very oppressive. He was giving out, they were giving out these specific orders to be put in place in our community. So then it's like when you decide to come out with this information, when you're running for office, when you got something to gain from it, I didn't really like that. So just on the basis of him. Now, of course, when you're dealing with politics, unless, I said 1,000 times during during the election, unless you're producing the candidates, meaning you're educating them and you're providing them with the resources to get in office, then yeah, you always going to have this dumb decision in which you're going to have to like the devil because the devil gives you nothing. I mean, I don't know how else you could look at, picking the lesser of two evils, whatever they call it. You understand what I'm saying? But just because one guy's better than the other guy, that doesn't make it good. That doesn't mean he's good ultimately in himself. You understand what I'm saying? A person that's 5'1" is taller than a person 5 foot. That don't mean he's tall. That don't, you're not about to, they're not about to draft you to replace Kevin Durant or something. That's something different. West Coast Wise said there's no big eyes and little U's in this coaching. So I suppose West Coast Wise is ready to jump right in. Yeah, the guy I be is saying he sees the same thing in terms of Eric Adams. He may just be the best person in the election, but you gotta watch him. You gotta stay on top of it. You understand what I'm saying? Other people, even the people that's on Biden's side, they still out there protesting, politicking for what it is, that they trying to get whatever they see as the best part. But West Coast wise, I challenge that statement. I challenge that statement. There are big eyes and little U's. Would you like to come on live and prove me wrong? Shout out to the guy, Be Allah, sing Be Allah, Be God. Sing God, they not going to cap. Yeah, shout out to Kim too. So Kim, I said peace. God, he said we still have to advocate for our interests, regardless to who's in there. The father worked with Lindsay. Right, that's what I'm saying. That you know, either way, somebody's going to be in there, and that person is probably not going to have our best interests necessarily in mind. And so, yeah, we got to continue to stay on. You understand what I mean? Voting, every 2 years, every 4 years, whatever it comes out to in your district, it's not really dealing with politics. You understand what I'm saying? Just as the examples that we see, you understand, the civil rights era, that was an everyday thing. You understand what I mean? That was something that people is seeing the work that they putting in, they seeing the energy that's being created. You see what I mean? And then by knowing what that power is and knowing the action that energy can bring about, they say, all right, we're going to give you what it is that you asked for. You know what I mean? But if you're just going to deal with it every 2 or 4 years, then really the commercials and the propaganda is really for you. The popularity part, that's what you're going to be exposed to, because you won't even know what the issues are. If all you ever do is let the two people come on and you're trying to decide who's the best out of these two people, but you don't really know or understand the issues that they campaigning on. So you really is just, yes, this guy, he's not as orange as the other guy. Sometimes you go in like that. I wouldn't, I don't know what the odds is on you making your decisions like that. But that's certainly something, that's gonna have an impact. You know what I'm saying? We got in Encyclopedia Brown. Encyclopedia Brown, Kasib Shah. Encyclopedia Brown is on a rampage right now. Encyclopedia Brown is like Battle Royale time. I was on the app. Listen, people think, look, they think Encyclopedia Brown is their friend, and then he get on them. Encyclopedia Brown said this is the 5% social club. There's individuals who choose to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But social clubs come and go. You know what I mean? This is, because that's the reason why I said is that I've seen individuals start to, have that type of mentality that this is where you come to, have a beer with like-minded people or something. Which is, that's peace to deal with social equality. But, the social equality has to have its place. That's, one thing about equality. Everything's got to have its place. You know what I'm saying? So, when you start letting that social equality overtake the supreme equality, which is the real work that we have to do, things that we got to show out here. You understand what I mean? That's we got to keep that in mind. that, you know, we was given a certain, you know, a certain way to do things, you know, which is to teach and impact the community in a positive way. You know what I mean? Especially when you look at it in the light of, you know, everything else that was going on at that time in the 60s, right? You had all these different people, right, that had all these different ideas of how they could bring about freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I'm saying? Like some people was like, look, you know, we got to go out there and kill the police. You know, some people was like, look, we got to pray harder. You know, some people was like, we got to march. You understand what I'm saying? You know, uh, with everything, you know, what we found works the best is the teaching. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna hurt everybody into getting the knowledge. Now you're dealing with something else. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna, you know, talk a hole in their head, no amount of knocking on their door on Saturdays and Sundays is gonna make them see what we see. You know, but yeah, you got a lot of people now that they're under that impression. You know, and even it's one thing when we've dealt with enough supreme equality, right? That when we come together, sometimes, yeah, we might go straight to the social equality. But that's because we've already dealt with the supreme equality. Time has already come and gone. See what I'm saying? Which gets us to the point that I wanted to make right here, right? The big eyes and the little U's. Hopefully everyone has went and got whoever you want to get. You know, you see, when you say there's no big eyes and little U's, right? See, that's like when you're teaching. See, we dealing with equality, right? We dealing with the same equality. So now, this is what I'm saying. Let's say if you brand new, this the first time you were watching this channel, that you just happen, whatever, you know, even though the people that's here that tune in every week don't get an alert for whatever reason, you got an alert, and now you're here on the channel and you're hearing the signs that the 5% teach. See, in that, there's no big eyes and little U's. Because even though you don't have any knowledge, right, of this 5% science that I'm teaching, right, guess what? I didn't have any knowledge either of it until somebody taught me. So see, in that, yeah, there's no big eyes and there's no little U's. You see what I'm saying? When we're talking about things that we deal in equality with, right? But we just at a different stage. But we both taking the same action, right? Dealing with that equality to reach the fullest of our potential. See, then there's no big eyes and there's no little U's. See, if we come into the cipher, right? And we build it on today's mathematics, and you know, you might only be able to say 2 words. Might be your second day you got the knowledge. So see, you might just say, you know, equality means balance. That might be all you can say. I might talk for 2 hours. You see, we both still build on mathematics. And see, I might talk for 2 hours, but what you said, right, might have been what really got through to the people who didn't know that really needed to understand. So see, that's why in that there's no big I's and little U's. You see, there's a passcode on it. I don't know. You mean that that's the thing that come on. You see, now listen though. Check this scenario out. See, that's when, see, like I say, now let's bring it to the level of balance. Here's the level of balance, right? Let's say me and you get the knowledge on the same day, right? Mr. Spot, Mr. Dill, or to I. Let's say me and you get the knowledge on the same day. Now, on that first day that we get it, there's no big I's and little U's. Because all we are at that point is the Asiatic black man. See, that's the only world that we the most high of, is just that physical realm of being the original man. You know, of having characteristics that's in harmony with the environment, you know, the planet Earth that we exist in. See, just being the Asiatic black man, right? You the Lord of that world. But now, what happens on the second day? Now I got the AC on in here, Mr. Spot. We don't play that no more. School is high tech now. Yeah, but what happens on the second day? I don't know the passcode. I just gave you the link. There's a passcode. I don't even. Hold on. I'm putting no passcode on this stuff. It's me signing.
In here. Go ahead. You wonder to what amen, Darkim. And he showed me you and Darkim.
I mean, right now I'm just doing the fast. Yeah, I don't know how to get the passcode, G.
Yeah, it got you on.
Yeah, I don't know. She might gotta figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know.
But like I said, what happens on the second day, right? You know, what happens in 2 months' time, right? When me and you got the knowledge on the same day, right? But look, your growth and development was like this. And my growth and development was like this. Now, see, we could be nice and say that no matter what happened, we still of the same potential. That's great. You see, you know, we don't eat potential. See, potential, you know, it's raining outside right now. Potential is not going to keep you out of the rain. It should be hold on.
Peace.
Peace out. Thanks for doing the Zoom joint.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
Yo, send me to the link to your Zoom.
Yeah, I'm trying to see right now. They saying it's no.
It's not launching.
It's it needs a password, so I don't know password. They kind of make sense. Though. But it's everyone's starting to pick up what I'm putting down.
Huh?
I'm talking to the people on the live. See, because like I said, we can be nice and say that what we're dealing with is the potential. You see, I'm saying as an individual, right, that you weighing and judging for yourself, right? You come to, wherever is the location where the guys is, right, in your area. I don't know. I got right in. I got right in. You didn't ask me for no password. You sure you're using that link? So the wordsmith said, you go on my Facebook. YouTube and look for Darkim Be AllahChrist. Anthony Samuel's piece. You said, I would say, because knowledge is the foundation, the big I would be, can you hear me?
Is Darkim Be Allah or Darkim Be AllahChrist?
Be AllahChrist. Y'all can hear me, right? Nah, but I did it on the computer though.
Peace on
Peace.
I'm gonna watch you while I'm driving.
I didn't do it on the what's the name? Divine Truth. Peace. Somebody knew how to do it. Somebody figured out the password before. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if this gets you. That could possibly be the passcode. So, back to the wordsmith says, I would say because knowledge is the foundation, the big I would be whoever does the knowledge the most within that particular cipher, and the little I can be viewed as the one doing too much wisdom. I mean, that's more, manifestations of who becomes the big I and the little U. But what I'm saying is this. right? Even as a person, right? You coming into the knowledge, right? Are you saying that there's no difference in who you would decide to go around to learn? Like who would you rather learn from? Person that you know has done this much research and experience, or would you rather learn from somebody that has not dealt with any growth and development from the time they was exposed to whatever the topic may be? See, this is not when I say it's big eyes and little U's, right? This is what people are choosing for themselves. See, when we just talk about just in that purified state, like I said, look, it doesn't matter if you a newborn baby, it doesn't matter if you're 100 years old, right? We all a black man. In terms of the physical beings that exist, the physical characteristics of the universe, right? Life being the most high, right? Of all the physical characteristics of the universe, right? And of all the forms of life that we see right here, the original man is the most high. Just by being born the original man. See, because we the fruit of our parents. So that's why we didn't have to do nothing. Now, when it comes to the rest, that's what you're choosing for yourself. See, what happens, right? When we get to that point, right? And we see that, listen, the only thing you did to bring about freedom, justice, and equality was fast and pray. While this other person over here, they got this whole list of things that they did. This, the people, and like I said, I'm talking about what is the proof in the pudding. And like I said, yeah, I can say, yeah, that's my brother, man. Me and him grew up together. But how many times you find yourself, right? Not just dealing with the 5%, but you find yourself somebody who, they came up with you. Whatever it was, but for the time y'all came up, their growth and development was this much. Or sometimes they even regressed. And so now what happens, right? When you can show and prove that you the Lord of all worlds from highest to lowest, and I can only show and prove I'm the Lord of some. What happens? Are you saying that those two people is still the same? The potential that exists in them, right? As the Asiatic black man to become God of the universe. is equal. But in the things that they manifested, right, and the things and what they went on to do with the knowledge, right, we have to acknowledge the reality that if we saying that this is growth and development, and some people, like I said, have not only not dealt with growth, they've regressed. Now, let me ask any one of y'all the question. You have a question to ask about any topic dealing with the knowledge of self. Now you speak to all people because you're doing the knowledge. You ask the brother who has dealt with a whole bunch of growth and development, somebody who's done a lot more than just fast and pray. And you've also taken the word of the person who regressed since he had the knowledge. Which one, for your own self, as you drawing up your own picture, right? Does one of their words hold more weight? You see, explain something to you. This is some of what's happening, right? When people don't understand, right, who it is that you came here to teach. See, this is what happens. See, there's some things that become a free for all. See, this is why this is connected. This is not a social club. See, we're gonna go through it again. See, there was many qualifications that Yakub put in place, right? Even to make the devil. So to make the devil, people gotta be qualified, and they can be disqualified. How we just doing what we doing without even no rules? How would that work? See, this is what's happening, right? When people don't understand that positive elevation always correct errors. See, to take something that has no big eyes and little U's in, it's getting bombed. It's having to be told what's right according to supreme mathematics. You see, you don't understand that that's supposed to happen. You're not understanding that that's where we all came from. Let the brothers in. I forgot where our brothers are in the waiting room. God should be in a minute. And so you don't understand, right, that when a person is building with you, right, when a person takes the time, right, for positive elevation to always correct errors, right, with you, what they're really dealing with is supreme equality. See, that's the person who's just going to let you do whatever foolish thing it is that you're doing, right, and not say nothing to you, that person don't care about you. It's just like right now, right? You know, the people tell you that, look, there was some event that happened at the school. That was the school where your kids go to, you know, and, you know, there was a whole bunch of misbehavior going on. Which one of them kids are you going to come down on? You're going to come down on yours. You're going to come down on the one that you love the most because you have the most expectations of them. You put the most into their growth and development, right? And you wouldn't want to see that be ruined out of not just the energy that you put into it, but the love for them. See, that's the equality. That's when we the same. But see, I would tell you something. Look, I'm that type of person. Now, if you just got the knowledge yesterday, right? And there's a decision that needs to be made. We got to put our heads together, right? And use 1 to 9 to come up with a solution. Nah, I'm not thinking that your word, like, look, right now, bruh, like, do the knowledge. It's good for you to be here and observe how the best knowers work. But make no mistake about it, I'm not about to let you operate on my brain. And you don't have the experience of operating on brains yet. And see, that's what these things is. When people is telling you something and the people is giving you these different ideas and stuff, see, that's what Encyclopedia Brown be getting people with. You see what I'm saying? Because Encyclopedia Brown, he understands that see, you let these people operate on your brain, man. When they tell you all this stuff, man, all this crazy stuff, and they don't give you the power to draw it up for yourself and analyze what's going on, yeah, it's operating on your brain. In the lessons, we call it sticking pins. See, in spite of Peter Brown, he come in, he'll let you know, this nigga ain't no doctor. Don't want him to operate on your brain. Oh, let me see, let me catch up with y'all. Are y'all talking over there? Because I don't hear you. Is it?
Who you talk about, G?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I didn't know if y'all was talking. Because,
Nah. I was talking to someone in the background. So do you think that's an aspect when, people are coming to it older, and they feel like they are entitled to talk and drop science as soon as they come in?
Yeah.
Because they're older.
Yeah, and you don't, and lacking the understanding, right? That how you deal in equality with me, right, is you gotta go teach somebody else that don't know. You can't, it just doesn't work that way. It's like parents, your kids cannot give you life. That's just not the way it works. You understand what I mean? Their contribution to the the family moving forward is to go have other seeds. Yes, where you're not involved. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we deal with equality with this knowledge. Don't get me wrong, we deal with supreme equality and we learn from each other. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean? And some things is just actually a waste of your time and energy. You understand what I mean? Like there's no need for you to go and try to teach some people that's older than you certain things. You understand what I mean? Like right now, your great grandmother may be alive, and you really got to show her. Like you would just do all the YouTube stuff and let her just do what she know, and just talk with her. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
what's the point of you going back trying to teach that? We got to teach on. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people here that's coming in that don't understand that. Look, they coming in at a certain age, right? And so the people that they around, their peer group is other old people. These are the people that they interact with. So these are the people that they think need the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And what's happening is people is coming into the knowledge at an age, right, where you don't have the advantage, right, of learning the science, right, just from the aspect of a learned behavior. Like, see, one of the reasons why, you had, you hear about the fearlessness of the gods and the scientific, that's because that was learned behavior. You understand what I'm saying? If you catch a person young enough, you can teach them to do anything. And the people, of course, there's those that's going to rise to the top, and be world class, but everybody is going to be proficient. Everybody's going to be able to use mathematics in that way. You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing that's happening. That's what a lot of people don't realize, that, when you, go back into those times, that's another aspect of what made it what it was. You see what I'm saying? Is that we was taught all the nation building behavior. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, look, that's gonna happen anytime people is, just like gangbanging. You know what I'm saying? That's something that they draw the kids into that at a young enough age where they can teach them to be hardcore. The first day they come in, they not the cold-blooded killer. They teach them that behavior. You see what I'm saying? So by the same token, we have to be taught the righteous behavior. You see what I mean? That's the flip side of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, we, have a natural sense of self. You know what I'm saying? And by self, I mean our likes as well. You understand what I mean? To where, you see this person as like, right? You're gonna, have your equality with that person is going to be higher. You understand what I mean? Then if you see that person as others. So yeah, there's some people that just their sense of self is like that. But see, the fullest potential, right, of them living out their righteousness, they still not going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Just like many of us, we can look back. It was good dudes, yeah, fine. But you couldn't do for yourself or for your family or for the community what you can do now that you have knowledge of self. You know what I mean? You might still have things in life that might trip you up, right? Because you don't have knowledge of self. And then when you do get tripped up, you may have a more difficult time getting back up because you don't have knowledge of self. And see, all that begins when you don't understand that the growth and development that you got to deal with in this is on your own. That you predict your own history. That see, just this blanket statement of saying there's no big eyes and little U's, as if forever you could not do anything and be the same as me. Nah. See, let me explain y'all something. I told y'all this before. Who y'all speak to here is this is the class document. See, in the streets, listen, I'll let you know fast, man. You're not God like me, man. Like when you see me, don't say peace. I won't say peace to you. You understand what I'm saying? And until you're able to show prove, let's stop it, man. Stop pretending, right, that this is still the Christian thing that we're talking about. See, like I said, that's for the religious people where you could be a statue and be a god. You could just be some words on the paper and be a god. All your works could be on paper where somebody just said that or they just wrote it down. But ain't nobody in this time, you ain't showing proof in thousands of years at best.
That tie into that build about the true and living. I didn't even catch that one. And
Yeah,
I
that's
missed
what I'm
it
saying.
too.
Yeah, see, the true and living guy had to show and prove. See, I'm talking about in the story. Now
Yep.
I don't want to get into it because I know Mr. Spock is in here. You know what I mean? You know how the Mythbusters get down, and Encyclopedia Brown is in here too. So we don't want to get too caught up in the story. But listen, when Jesus was alive, right? People used to ask him to show and prove all the time. See, now that he dead, the motherfucker don't never ask Jesus to show and prove. If you say you God, though, they'll ask you to do shit they never asked Jesus to do. To show and prove that you got. That's the difference when you're the living God. So you got to show and prove you the truth. You see them statues that's sitting over there, them statues are sitting over there in Greece and Egypt and all them places, you just saying this. And you a God. See, listen, people do what they want to do. This is not compulsion. You understand what I mean? But see, I'm not going to let you operate on my brain, son. I'm not going to let you can't come around me and be doing certain things. See, because when you let people come around this, I'm going to tell you something else that's controversial right here. A lot of y'all may not want to accept it. Let me tell you something. There's some people that negativity is greater than your positivity. Like, I know what you're thinking. I'm the God, man. I'm limited. Listen, man. There's some people whose growth and development with negativity is greater than your positivity. And you cannot help them. An attempt to help them, if you attempt to pull them up, you know what's going to happen? It'll pull you right down. There's just people, listen, accept it or reject it. But I'm going to tell you in life, you're going to find that some people that you got to let them go in their iniquity, man. You don't get too close.
You got some example of that, trying to give the knowledge to them?
Say it again?
You got some examples of that, like personally, when you're trying to give the knowledge that happened to you?
I mean, you got people that's gotten themselves killed. See what I mean? Or people that have gotten themselves locked up because, because they didn't have growth and development as quickly in the things that I was telling them about how to live. They may have had fast growth and development or acceptable growth and development in terms of the lessons and everything. You understand what I'm saying? And, there was times that I got into shit fucking with them, being in the cipher that I knew, this is not my level of where to be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here attempting to save these people. You understand what I'm saying? And by the same token, times when, motherfuckers was like, yo, we about to, and I was like, word, yeah, I see y'all when I get back.
Everything's real.
You gotta, that's the reality. That is, and it's messed up, but I'm just saying that that's a hardcore reality in terms of, anybody that has sons, right? What you have to teach them about people that they might be friends with You know what I'm saying? Like right now, your son is young. So yeah, elementary school, he may be friends with somebody, right, that may go in the wrong direction at some point where it's like, yo, if I was you, I say peace to that kid and keep it pushing, man. Like just standing there with him, you can lose your life. You see what I'm saying? There, and when the people roll up, don't get me wrong, that's happened before too. When the people, look, something happened, people came and said, yo, God, hey, God, this ain't your business. You understand what I'm saying? But this cat right here, yeah, I had that happen too. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying you can't count on that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a dude gonna say, "Oh, you with him?" Then, hey, you see what I mean?
Yeah, I know some people that got killed because they were trying to get to the person that they were standing next to, and that person didn't even know. And they got returned with them.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta know how to use the magnetic, right, to tap that person and then say, "Look, let's roll over here." You know what I'm saying? To another location where, now my positivity is great over here. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to we over there where you didn't put that negative energy so much over there in that area where you at. You understand what I'm saying? That now what's going to be attracted to you is unlike. You understand what I mean? And if I don't want the unlike to be attracted to me, you see what I'm saying? And I'm old school. I'm from the days, man. Birds of the feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain people we rock with. You understand what I'm saying?
That goes for daughters too. Just having them watch out the type of friends that they have, leading them in the wrong direction.
You understand what I'm saying? Look, I've seen that too, guys. You're right. I've seen that too. Situations happen where it's like, yeah, you a babe in the woods, but this person you with, man, they about to get you in a world that you have no idea about. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, all of those is things that you got to pay attention to, when you teach it. You know what I'm saying? And just in general, in your endeavors, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, some people that, you see somebody like, yo, man, what's up? What you doing? What's the deal? And just the stuff that they say, you like, yeah, man, yeah, now I was just about to take it down. Like before you even ask me if I'm going your direction, you know what I'm saying? No, I was just taking it down. You understand what I'm saying? So beware of those people, man. Like I said, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow that this person's negativity is greater than my positivity. That's how it works. I suppose it depends on your level of positivity. Like saying right now, right, if some dudes rolled up and you was like Martin Luther King or something, they probably chill. Because you got a lot of positive energy built up. You understand what I'm saying? But
coming from a monk from the mountain, huh? You got to be Gandhi.
Yeah, it probably happen. You know what I mean? You might be niggas got, oh, you Martin Luther King, I you passed the time, son. You know what I'm saying? He wrote Martin Luther King, probably get you a pass. You understand? Of course, as long as it ain't the Ku Klux Klan that's after you,
Mm-hmm.
But then it's the other way.
Yeah. Oh, you Martin Luther King? Oh, come here.
You know what I'm saying? We know you knew Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are the things you gotta deal with. You understand what I mean? And listen, becoming that wise, these are the things, see, like I said, right? We gotta take the devil off the planet without falling a victim.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so, I went to the extremes when I was explaining how a person could pull you down. You understand what I mean? But just in general, when you're dealing with things, in life, right, where you could fall a victim. You understand what I'm saying? So now what that means is if you took the devil, right, you took Yakub's made devil off your planet, but see, you didn't take the devil you was making off your planet. See, you forgot to go through from 20 to 34, right? And see what you found. See what I mean? See if that stuff that you was doing could be reformed or if it need to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see? Because now when you fall a victim, now they still got the power to exist. You see what I mean? So the different things that, we don't come to the full realization. And I say we because, most of us have been there. We don't come to the full realization, right, of, what we're supposed to do with this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I came here at a time where that's just the training. This is just natural. This is what happens. You know what I mean? You come to the cipher, you build on the mathematics, in a certain period of time, people start asking you, yo, when you gonna bring some other people to the cipher? You know what I'm saying? This is how it goes, at that time, when it wasn't no social club. You know what I'm saying? You know what
So
I mean?
do you think it's the same thing like if a place, would you say a place's negativity could outweigh your positivity? Or would you just say it's the individuals? So say if you go into a area that, so like ABG, for example, going to Medina, right? So if you're going to an area that doesn't have the knowledge and, that area has a lot of negativity and it may outweigh your positivity, do you still go and, reach those that you can? Or do you say just like
I'm five. You know what I mean? So there's very few places, you know what I'm saying, where I'm not going to go if I want to go. You see what I'm saying? Now, how I move over there, right, is based on what you're saying, right? And I don't want to be spooky here. I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying carefully, right? So that you don't misunderstand and get spooked out. You know what I mean? But the things that people do, right? Matter and energy is not created or destroyed. So when people manifest a certain energy in a place, right? Then that energy is real, it's there. So what I'm saying is this. Let me give you an example to make it real so you understand what I'm saying. If we're going to use the same example, like you said, I'm going around a place, right? Let's say that place is Compton. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that place is South Chicago, wherever it is, So the things that people have done in that place, right, have manifested a certain energy where that's the energy that's there. That's that, that energy causes things to happen in that place. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want a block where, this is where, a lot of things, have occurred before a certain way, then you just going in that area, you have to be prepared, right? And know that that's the type of energy that's been manifested over there. You see what I'm saying? So if a person sees you over there, right, they may associate you with the manifestation of that energy. You see what I'm saying? Because that energy is controlling the other people's brain cells that's over there. See what I'm saying? Like sometimes you go somewhere that's like that. You know what I'm saying? And you see somebody, you know, you looking at them, and as you approaching, you see, yeah, this person, they looking at me the same way I'm looking at them. You know, to, you know, make sure that I'm not a wolf. So, you know, yeah, all of that has an impact, but just the reality is listen, for every problem, there's a solution. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, sometimes it's a matter of, you know, how you solve a situation like that, right? Is you have to, you know, you gotta teach the right person. You know, once you teach the right person, right, who has enough influence, right, then you can begin to change the energy, right, through changing the people who manifest that energy, right, and changing the ideas and they have in the you know, the things that they doing. You know what I'm saying? 793rd says like certain neighborhoods where it's trap heavy. Yeah. So you go in an area like that, right? Yeah, the police, you know, you might just be standing on the corner. You just came out, you know, just open your what you call that stuff now? Just open your alkaline water, and the police roll up and want to search you because of the energy that people have manifested through their actions in that area. You know, it can have. So, you know, like I said, it's always a solution. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of you know, you seeing it and implement. The wordsmith said, I'm from now why, but remind you of brothers from California with some of our mannerisms. Which mannerisms would those be? But you know, that's one of those situations where, listen, you know, you know, like I said, don't let them put the 8 in front of your 5. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you're going, wherever you're traveling, yeah, it's a certain amount of, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. You know what I mean? We come to the people as the people indeed, right? But we don't lose civilization. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we go into these different ciphers, right? And we know that there's only build and destroy. There's no middle ground. So if we go into certain realms and we not building, right, then we may be subject to the destruction that's over there. You know. I don't know, wordsmith. I think that's pretty much a black man thing. But getting back to the point, like I said, you know, when you deal with the big eyes and the little U's, right? There's certain places where the proof is in the pudding, like somebody said earlier. And one of those things, right, is going to be in the history that you write. The worst one said, I guess Pelon is not that much different from California. I mean, yeah, all these places, you know, either people develop these rivalries based on where they live. But look, pretty much you wherever you at, you can get it. Mr. Spock said, what about the gangsters? Don't brothers with this knowledge who go to those areas have more magnetic when they are or once were a part of that world? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you have that background, right, that's one of the solutions. That's why that was exactly what I was saying when I said you got to teach the right person. So now if you teach somebody that's from that world, right? Now, when they're in that world, right, they're a lord in that world, right? And now they're a lord in this world, so they could go and demonstrate that. But see, if you go over there without already being a lord in that world, see, now we want to see if you can show and prove. Show and prove, you got right here in the streets. Julian Martinez, welcome to the channel. C. Sun. All right, PC Sun. Welcome to the channel. Like button and subscribe. And then plus, in general, Mr. Spot, those are always going to be the people that's the easiest for you to teach, if for no other reason, right? Proximity. Meaning these are the people that's close to you. These are the people that you see every day. These are the people that you have in conversations with. You know what I'm saying? Like the chances of me giving somebody the knowledge that was resting on the West Coast of Canada, in times prior, like now we got the internet, we on the internet, we doing all this. You understand what I'm saying? And then, like I said, you could be introduced to with this knowledge. You could be introduced to some of the principles of this knowledge, but I can't really teach you over there. It's proximity. When we about the same things, you see what I mean? Then the knowledge, you got to remember, becomes more than about talking. See, because, let's use, one of, if not the most famous example of that, what you say, right? The gangsters going and having magnetic with gangsters, right? Malcolm X, right? You don't get too much more, in terms of the popularity of his story, of knowing now, right? This is what I'm saying. It becomes more than about the talking, right? Because the people can now see the difference that it made in you. Like if people knew you and you was a terror, and now all of a sudden they see you and you still ain't no bitch. But you out helping the people in the community. You went and got a gig, like, yo, you gonna be, like, damn, son, you've been in jail in like 3-4 years, man. You don't be getting locked up no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, son, how you got that whip? See, the people is seeing the change. See, that's what happens a lot of times. That's why you're having a hard time civilizing people, because like I said, you're not civilized yourself, so the people can't see no change. So that's why you're always going to be successful with the people that's from where you from. See, because look, this it's all of this is instant. You know, like I said, the people, whoever is the savior, right, is created by the people, by the conditions of the people. So whoever comes to be their savior, if it's Moses, Moses was a Jew. If it's Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman was a slave. Somebody who wasn't from those places where she was from, they wouldn't have had the same understanding. Christopher Gooding, the original Mr. 120. Now, Gerard said, me personally, I was introduced to the knowledge and the gamble. It lasted about 3 or 4 hours, started at 2 in the morning, ended when the sun came up. By the end of that night, I knew the black man's God. Edward Green came in. I mean, you know, listen, in order for you know, us to be the Lord of all worlds, right? We got to experience them too. You know, and that's what I found. In any world that you go into, you'll find somebody with knowledge of self. Mr. Spock said, I saw a video of a rally from Born. The Bloods were there, and the brother was saying NGE is his family, but he riding with the gang. I think he thought he was doing his duty his way. I can't get with that way of thinking. Well, I don't know precisely who was speaking at that time. But you know, all that above is caused by the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you have to look at things, you know what I mean? Especially things that you know, things that happen like during your time. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened on your watch. You understand what I'm saying? So
Were you at that rally, G?
yeah. So what that means, right, is that you know, it's something that we neglected to do, right? That caused that way of life to have more magnetic. Now, of course, the $64,000 question in every hood in America is, what are those things? You know what I'm saying? So we can go back and fix this situation. You understand what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, a lot of those brothers that came, you know what I'm saying, was actually people who was born 5%. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, like I was just saying, because they didn't see the kind of actions, you know what I'm saying, that balance out the talk. You know what I'm saying? And because, you know, it's just a different impact, right? In how you looking at things. You know, like see, Peach, see me, I was the 85%. You see what I'm saying? And so I came into the knowledge, right? And I had to go through the trials and tribulations, you know what I mean, of becoming civilized and remaining civilized. You see what I mean? So I can't understand it. But it's just like with, right now, right? Uh, most people, right? They expect perfection of their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like most people, they don't look at their parents' problems, you know, like, the same, things that you didn't have understanding of or knowledge or wisdom of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, your parents was 19, 20, you know what I'm saying? At the time when you came into existence too, you know what I mean? But any mistake they made, most people is, you did this and you didn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm saying, when you look at that aspect, right, of a person that, yeah, you was born in a nation and you heard the people saying all this stuff about righteousness, and then you didn't see it manifest in the way that visualized it. You see what I'm saying? That's a difference, right, from, me, who I'm coming into the knowledge, going through the same thing. So, when I see people fall a victim, right, it doesn't take away as much from my view of them. You see what I'm saying? Even that, where I say, look, if you came into the knowledge in the 80s, right, you came into the knowledge at a low point for a lot of brothers. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of brothers was falling victim to a lot of things. So it was like, yeah, if you was going to be caught up by that, then yeah, you probably ain't going to have knowledge. you probably ain't going to, if as soon as you see the brother, you just like, oh man, he's caught up. Yeah, you're not going, you're not going.
When did crack hit now? Why?
Like 80, 81.
Okay, early on.
Yeah, I mean, other places I've heard other people come, like people from Oakland have said that Oakland is the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, in the P, we don't have the smoking gun, but we're absolutely positive it touched down in the P first.
Oh, in the P. Okay.
Listen, I mean, probably Harlem too, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, even some of the dates that I hear other people talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, someone's already cracked heads by then. Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, nah. Like 85. Like, dude, people were saying crack is whack by 85.
Yeah.
Like, by 1987, crack really ran its course in New York. And look, the evidence that I present for that is, look at how many people from New York, starting from that era, start becoming kingpins all up and down the East Coast. Because the money is really drying up, because there's not too many new people. The new people that's coming of age by 87, 88 is not smoking crack. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's still money, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people, but I'm talking about that real where, this we got a block full of millionaires. Nah, that disappeared in the at least by the early 90s. You know what I'm saying?
So what time frame is like Rich Porter and AZ?
Probably like 84, 85 to like 89, 90. Well, you figure Rich got killed, Alpo lasted a little bit longer. AZ had got shot, you know what I mean? So, but yes, I mean, that's a long run.
Yeah, Alpo lasted because
I mean, listen.
Yeah. He giving documentaries of where he killed Rich and like what? Okay, all right.
You know, listen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But what you said here, Mr. Spock says some guys were upset about their presence there. Brown C. Shasha stood up and said everybody is free to come here, says Almighty God Allah. Indeed, anybody can come. You know what I'm saying? See, the God I be said, I don't think you can be born 5%. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna build like there's gods, there's people or gods that name their children Allah,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones I know personally doesn't live that out.
Yeah, but I don't live out my honorable name my parents gave me neither. That's the thing with freedom. You know what I mean? They got to see it themselves. You know what I mean? Now, look, I know people that did like that. But look, I'm not going to name you, Terrence, because you might not have the knowledge when you get older. Yes, I mean, like, look, I'm not going to name my cat Tom. I mean, yes, I'm saying that if I, whatever it is that I have, that's how I am. You understand what I'm saying? And right now, I made you, yes, I mean, and that's what I'm calling, because that's how I am. I don't have another Christian way to think, like, oh, well, why I name you Abraham? Because that's nice and biblical. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do? If I had a car that I was going to give a name to, and back in the days people used to name their cars, I'm not going to name my car Jimmy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to name it that. You understand what I'm saying? So, but just like with everything else, like I said, man, see, the 5% grow up. Again, it might be controversial. I'm just telling you the history that I've seen and the history that I lived through is, listen, 5% grow up to be all types of things. Some of us grow up to be civilized people. Some of us grow up to be Muslims. And some of us grow up to be Muslim sons. That's how, that's it. Listen, that's what's happening.
That's
like,
deep.
When you look around at the people that was there day one, the people that, I remember we was on the 1 and 10 together. You know what I'm saying? Some of us grew up to be the 5%. When we see each other right now, everything is still mathematically inclined. Some motherfuckers went back to being lost. When I see it, like, oh shit, I see you all the time. Like, what you up to, man? I'm over here getting these pork sandwiches and shit. But have it to the best. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what your 5% grow up to be.
So then would you advocate naming them your sons Allah, like the last name, and then your daughters like Earth or Jules as their last name?
I mean, well, with my children, right, Allah and Earth is in their names, right? But they still got my honorable last name. You understand what I mean? Like I said, I'm God. See, whether they think that or not, right? The fact is, just like anybody that's named Junior or whatever, that's your name because your father is a certain person. You understand what I'm saying? That's what that means. Now, rather you grew up, right, to be that same person. You know what I'm saying? Being like right now, right, you got people named Fisher, right, that somewhere way back down the line, somebody in their family was a fisher. I'm talking about a person that went out to catch fish, I'm saying.
Yep.
A fisherman.
Yep.
You understand what I mean? So now, even because you may don't fish no more, you may work at Amazon. You see what I'm saying? But that don't stop the history that you came from a fisherman. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So no matter what, you understand what I mean? They that's still the signs, you know. So in terms of me and how I see the name, you understand what I mean? And then in general, you know, I imposed a little more expectation of being 5% than some of my brothers and sisters that I see. Yes, and I mean, see, just like for instance, I'll give you an example, right? You see my daughter, she won the valedictorian and all that. Listen, I'm happy, I'm proud. Yes, I mean, her and her friend that she also won awards that day. You know what I mean? So I seen them and they went to the festival, you know, boom, I gave them enough so they could have a great time, you know, to the point where, listen, you know, this summer, you do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You did more than you were supposed to do. So look, right now, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. See, at the same time, right? That's what you did with the devil. That's what you did in the devil's civilization. That's you real good at that city science. Look, I'm good with it too. I'm good. You know, I'm not knocking it, but that's that city science. You got to deal with high science to live that out. You understand what I'm saying? See,
What do you mean by that's that city sign? What do you mean by that, G?
That's everything that you got to master in the realm of 6. That stuff, see, the stuff you got to master to exist, you know, to get a good job, to be the Lord, to be a Lord in the realm of 6, to be the most high when the people see you, yo, you got a nice house. You know what I'm saying? You got a nice car, your kids as well taken care of. These are things that we do, but these are things that any 85%, there's Jews and Christians and Zoroastrians that do that too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do we do?
10% too.
Right. So what do we do in the realm of high science? You see what I'm saying? And so see, I always let them know that was important, right? So even, you know, if you notice, when, you know, they got my mind, you understand what I'm saying? When you seen them come on and talk, they got my mind, even no matter what you apply it to. There's never going to be a time where, like, see, look, my daughter, right? Like I said, she won this award. She won the award. She's the MVP of debate class. She's the captain. She's the MVP. Now, listen, and I got another daughter that she also, you know, but she grew up hearing, you know, it's Yakub, God and the devil. Ah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She grew up with that. That look, this is my statement right here, and this is how you show and prove. See, she know how to show and prove. So you see, she took something where she came from this high side and applied it to that city side, right? Now, the key is we got to get them to get the stuff what they learn in that city side and come back and apply it to the high sides. You see what I'm saying? Like, see, the Jewish people, right? They sending people in America to go learn that city signs, and then they come back to Israel and build over there. Or the Chinese people, they do it too.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta, you know, if that's not something that you really impose on them, right? then here's what happens. All their growth and development was in the city signs. See, that's what happens in those worlds too. See, like in Chinese, right? They might send a child over here to get an education. They meant for them to come back. But see, he come over here and get caught up in the city signs. So now I'm American. So I'm used to partying all night. You know, I'm doing certain things out here, man, that, you know, you can't do back in communist China, man. Listen, man, I don't know. See, and that's what happens when we send our babies off to the education. You see what I mean? Because they being taught by the teachers, right? But they being taught by the other kids there too. They give you 2 educations. See what I'm saying? And so if that education, right, big I's and little U's, if you allow them
fraternities and sororities too.
Right. So if you allow them to be the big U's, right, and make you the little I, then guess what? The seed is going to keep it pushing from whatever the colleges that they go to. They're not going to come back and see how they can apply that science. And I'm saying not even just on a level of, you know, you a part of a nation like the 5%. I'm talking about even, you know, look, this is what I'm saying. Whatever, even Donald Trump himself, right? His father sent him to go learn some city science, right? So that he could come back and apply it to the family business. See, he sent his kids to school, to college, whatever, get experiences to learn a certain degree of city science so that they could bring it back and apply it to the Trump International Organization. See, this is how they build and they cipher. This is nation building. But, you know, to me, that's what happens, is that, you know, and of course it's because we realize that this is the poor part of the planet Earth. And so we try to avoid, you know, our babies being one of the poor. So, you know, of course we emphasize things that they accomplish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, even though, and this is not really a good term, I won't try to get caught up in this, but look, this is what we should call it. You know, I appreciate the things that they accomplished in the devil's education. But, you know.
Not the devil's knowledge, but the devil's education.
Yeah, that's what we used to call it. But look, see, this is what I'm saying. You know, we used to be off the deep end too. You know, we was on it. But, you know, yeah, when you just you know, hearing certain things and certain concepts are being introduced to you and you don't really have understanding. So at that time, you know, that was one of the things that we would say to a person, right? You know, if let's say we're supposed to be in school at 8 o'clock, you know, and it gets 7:55. See me, I'm gladiating. I'm not going in until the cipher is complete. Listen, I don't care what's going on. I'm not going in until the cipher is complete. You know,
yeah, I can vouch for that because the last day and now
yeah. Listen, that's me. But look, you got some people they serious, you know, they try to keep their grades up for whatever reason. So they try to go to class, you know. But then you got another group that you ain't going to class. You just trying to get out of the cipher. And so that would be one of the things that we would throw at them right there. Like, nah, man, we dealing with supreme knowledge, man. You going over there, don't worry about the devil's education. That's 6. That's 6 to 7 over here. You know what I'm saying? And it will also be used to justify, right? Because we're supposed to be going to school. You know what I mean? I'm still in the days where brothers used to ask you that. Did you go to school? You know what I'm saying? So that's what we would use to justify not going to school. You know, that's the devil's education. We don't really do that. But that was, you know, a little bit of misunderstanding from our past right there. You know, but getting back to the statement that Mr. Spock made about Shasha standing up and said everybody is free to come here. So says Almighty God. That's the way I got it too. You know, but here's the thing too, you know what I mean, about a lot of people that was upset about that. Is that, listen, man, you can't forget about your own history. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us a lot of us, including Shasha, came out of gangs. We came out of, you know, being in the street as 85%. But let's keep it 100. Some of us have done worse since we had the knowledge. See, some of what the young gang dudes is doing now, they standing on the shoulders of people that call themselves righteous. So, you know, you can't condemn other people. You see what I mean? See, listen, it's some things where you gotta be consistent. Don't get me wrong, I understand what people are saying, but there's some things that you have to be consistent. And this is for consistency purpose, right? Yaqub is the one that takes away people's birthright. That's what Yaqub do. So see, anybody can come and learn. Now, don't get me wrong. There's another side to that. See, anybody can come and anybody can get the fuck out of here too. Let's be clear. But we can't choose for other people, you know what I'm saying, when they see what they see, because then we cross the line into religion. You know what I mean? Some people, they got to learn that way. That's how they learn. What could you do? Now, New York had crack way before 84, 85. They had crack before it was in vials. Around my way it is. Right. Mr. Spock say what I'm saying. Yeah, winners don't do drugs. That was already in video games by 86. That's what I'm saying. People, they was already saying crack was whack. You know, like the crackhead was already a ridiculed person by that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you remember, Grand Pooba was in a group called Masters of Ceremony. And that was like 85 or 86. They made a record called Cracked Out. Got a brand new TV with a funky remote. And that was the first specific crack song album. Like there was other white lines and all of that, free base. That's what I'm saying. All that stuff been out. And these are songs that's being made about it. So this is what I'm saying. Imagine the streets it's already there, it's already a thing. And the art is starting to reflect it.
You saw my answer to that great debate whether Yaqub is God or devil.
Now, what ended up being the verdict? I mean, that seems to be like I mean, it comes up in every era. Like there's been some things that's been put to rest. You know what I'm saying? But that one, it don't seem like it's gonna die, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I said he's God.
The God Abi said, will Allah be a point of contention with us and the Muslims in the future? And what has the history been in relation to the name Allah and those that worship? I mean, for the most part, it seems like it's already a contention. You know what I'm saying? You know, all of these different words, you know, Islam, et cetera, et cetera. You know, we had a couple people come on, you know, early in the Random Jews run, we had a couple people, you know, some of our Islamic brothers.
What was the righteous Muslim name? What was the name?
Saeed.
Saeed.
Yeah.
Still haven't came back, huh?
Yeah, nah, I was waiting on him. You know, if Saeed, if you out there, you need to speak again. Because look, here's the deal. When you come back, Saeed, I'm gonna make you my messenger. I'm already Allah. You gotta do. You could be my messenger. I'm catapulting you over all the other Muslims. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that, Saeed?
It's a great honor.
Yeah. So you know you have to break the new seal. You know, and I'll let you be my liaison with Far and Elijah. I'll let you hold the gold phone that I speak to Far and Elijah on. Why son zigzag zig? Jarrell,
what was your see on whether he's God or devil?
Again,
you want to tell us?
Again, we have to deal with consistency. Now, there's a lot of other parts too, but see, we got to deal with consistency. If Yaqub is the devil, then the devil made the devil. Something's not right there.
And the degree it said, why did God make devil?
That's what I'm saying. And see, again, right? It's about a person kind of not looking at the devils that they make, right? As devils. You know, you don't look at the impact of a lot of your negative behavior. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I'm talking about, you know, to your family, to the community, not just to yourself. You see what I mean? And so you're looking at this thing that Yaqub did, right? But that's what it's telling you, man. You understand what I mean? Is that the devil is made by men. You see what I'm saying? Just like God is born from men, right? To make devil, one must first begin grafting from the original man. Who is the original man? The degree starts with the Asiatic black man. So, if you still having this kind of religious idea, about this red man with horns, that's the embodiment, right, of, all evil, burning people under the ground, then, you constantly looking at everybody else, you looking at his negativity, right? But look, if you going by that theory, right, nigga, you was born in sin. That that's what that philosophy tells you, is that everybody's a sinner. And so you have to go through this Christian program in order to repent and allow Jesus into your heart so you can go to heaven. That's what you wanted to be, but really you was making the devil. Hold on for 1 second.
Also to the cipher, I also see that some people get caught up that God is just a positive force, and how God just can't be negative. So people don't subscribe or think of Yaqub as God because he made the devil. Now, God doesn't mean, you're just positive. So just people think about, they associate God with just positivity. And no, you can create, like God was saying, you can create devil by being God, because the devil is created by man. And we went through that science of the devil being created. So yeah, I see Yaqub as God because, it asks, why did God make the devil? Did you hear what I said, G?
Yeah. I agree with that. So when you said Jarrell Boiling here, it says just like the name Smith comes from blacksmith, meaning someone in the family history was a blacksmith at some point. Tim's in 91. Yeah, you gotta wind the clock back, man. 91. Tim's. At least 1985. At the latest, 86. But I would say 85 was when I first started seeing Chucks.
You was talking about Tim's and Chucks?
Yeah, that was like probably the first style of them that really became popular. Yeah, I don't know how we got on this nostalgia stuff.
I know Chucks. I've seen Chucks were being worn in like the 50s and 60s on like the West Coast, because they were popular because of basketball shoes.
No. I'm talking about Chuck is the style of Timberlands.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck's, Chuck Taylor, people, that's old school. Wordsmith said, is there such a thing as half truth or half lie? Nah, I can't picture how that might be. Half truth and half lie. Nah, I mean, what you mean? Like, if you tell me a story and it got some lies and some truth, your story's fake. First of all, let's just start with the overarching. Your story's fake. Like that would be like the Bible. Now, the truth is the truth and the lies is the lies. They're not the same. It's not, like if you say you 7 feet tall, that's a lie. You know, if you say, you know, you're from California and you're 7 feet tall, that's two different things. This statement is not half a truth or half a lie. The statement is fake because you lied, right? And you mix it in with the truth and you gave a false picture. But truth and the lies don't mix like that. You know, just in general, remember this. And this is something, this is something that, you know, brothers taught me a long time ago. And if you apply this to, you know, the different things you're doing and just how you live, you'll come out good, is that, you know, positive and negative is never going to balance equal on the scale. And you're never going to be just as right as you was wrong. And that kind of justification rarely leads anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, because then the first thing that happens when you try to deal with you being just as right as you was wrong is you start dealing with relativism. You know, and in relativism, what happens is what's right is now relative to what other people is doing.
Can you say that statement again, G?
What part?
The quote when you said, you know, what other brothers used to say.
Positive and negative is never going to balance equally on the scale. You understand what I'm saying? One is always, you know, you either was building or you was destroying. You may not want to accept that, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, that's what it ends up being. Like you was around there, you thought you was building, but the only thing they recall is all the negativity you was doing. You see what I'm saying? But positive and negative is never going to balance, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, that whenever you try to do that, you always try to bring up something that somebody else did wrong. And then you try to show how what you did is not as wrong as what they did. Not that what you did was right. See, people get caught up in those type of things. See, I don't get caught up in that type of thing because I got some pretty knowledge. Mr. Spock said, what do you think?
Wow, what are we discussing? Fake weaves, nails, and fake. Okay.
Oh, where'd that come from?
Women are wearing wigs in ancient Kemet.
Women was wearing wigs in ancient Kemet?
Yeah, the god IB was responding to Empress. Okay.
Yeah, listen, he's about to learn about somebody's negativity pulling you down. Mrs. Spike said, what do you think? What's this here?
I was aware of crack by 87, and I know I didn't just hit at that time. That was almost the peak.
Okay, Mr. Spock said, what do you think of people, Black conscious hating on people or disqualifying people with degrees from the devil's education? Well, you know, I'm not really with the anti-intellectualism. You know what I'm saying? You know, in terms of having a well-rounded body of information. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, you know, yeah, I do the knowledge to, you know, views that might not be accepted by, say, let's say the mainstream historians or something. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but in order to have a well-rounded view, you got to do the knowledge to everything. You know what I'm saying? So, a person coming in to a conversation, right, with only the mainstream knowledge that you got, from your particular educational establishment, from the particular professors that you have. You know what I'm saying? Because, you go to classes, you go to science classes, whatever, you go to math class, and you may take the same or similar classes, right? But the teachers is not necessarily teaching the same thing. And the way that they teach you to go about the solutions of whatever that subject matter is not always the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to high school and you see, when everybody got to go up to the board, you see that some people don't learn, like, what's that? But that's what their teacher was teaching in the establishment that they was in. So only thing I'm saying that to say is that we had to acknowledge, right, the limitation of just getting one kind of line of information and relying on that, without looking at the 360-degree picture. You see what I'm saying? So if you got somebody that's coming in and it's just, my degree, but you haven't even really explored all of the different views that's in the field that you're in. You understand what I'm saying? Like you may come into the conscious community, like you said, right? Everything that Dr. Bench said, Dr. Clark don't necessarily agree with. Everything Dr. Clark said, Ivan Van Sertima don't necessarily agree with. You understand what I'm saying? So, the same way you got to see all of those views, or I would want to see all of those views before I made my decision on what was right. You understand what I'm saying? I want to know, what is that mainstream point of view as well. You understand what I mean? But anybody that is putting a limit, on what we're talking about study. We're not talking about things, like you can study, being in jail without being in jail. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, there's things that I wouldn't advise you to become a member of every different philosophy that you read that book. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, I could read something, right, that comes from Confucius, right, without turning to a Buddhist. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, anybody, like I said, if you, put some type of limitation on, what you observe, eventually that's going to lead you in the wrong direction.
Also, I think there's some history behind that with the Boulets and also the Talented 10, using the devil's education to better themselves and leave, other original people behind, or to, look down on those people. So I see why some do that, as far as look down on the devil's education. However, I take the best part for myself. I can get an education at the library.
Right.
It's the difference between schooling and education.
Right. Mm-hmm. And intelligence. See, because you got a lot of people, right, with a lot of intelligence, not very schooled or educated. You know what I'm saying? And you have people that they school, they got degrees, but you sit down and have a conversation with them and you wonder how the hell you graduated. They don't have no education or intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? And then you got people that's educated, they've done a lot of reading. Look, they not Einstein. They haven't been to a whole bunch of school, but they know what they know. They've educated themselves in what they know. You understand what I'm saying?
True indeed. And
You know
the thing about intelligence is that you got to be able to speak in a way to show your intelligence. You see, so yeah, knowledge and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Got Jamal Gray. Jamal Gray snuck in down here.
Gee, who's wise son zigzag zig Allah?
He's I don't think Wise Son been out here.
He's new to the channel?
Nah. So Nala said, trust me, the other, I guess you would say the different sects, sects of Islam do not appreciate us using the terminology that they've decided is property of Islam. You know. Yeah, Al-Bilali. Yeah, I remember Al-Bilali too. And his other name was Al-Burlani. He started getting me a little concerned with that because that's what they do. They wig out, they take them type of names, Baghdadi and shit like that. So he might need to stay away from this. Because on another note, I saw today what be happening to some colored people, yo. Like I saw something where it was like, yeah, see, this is something I didn't know y'all do that. Like we was having to be outside the bicycle shop. Like I wasn't going in there, I just happened to be outside the bicycle shop. So these colored women is coming past, right? And they blowing up a tire in there, so the tire pops. So it was like the way it happened, plus it's inside, so it echoed a certain kind of way, right? Where like, of course, it caught everybody's attention. But as soon as it happened, I already knew what happened. You know what I'm saying? It already registered on my niggas popped the tire in there. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't know what happened. They sitting there thinking, look, they looking at each other, right? So they said for a couple of minutes like that, right? A couple of seconds. So then what's that? And they start walking towards the thing, right? So that's when I told them, I was like, nah, they just popped the tire. Said, oh, yeah, I was wondering. He's like, yeah, see, black people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, black people are somewhere and they think, listen, if they think they heard a shot.
Oh, gee, they was going to go investigate?
That's what I'm saying. Listen, and you ain't got no hammer?
Oh, man. Yeah. The white, that reminds me of the white man's burden.
Yeah. I was like, see, yeah, black people don't do that. Like, look, I got a whole new understanding of what be happening to y'all now. Hey, yeah, see, man, this is why stuff happens, man. Like, look, I'm still shocked right now. It wasn't until when the reports came out, right? And they said that it was a whole bunch of old ladies and that he shot the dude that was there first. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to shoot no multiple black people in no close range. Ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other, man. One way or the other. Yeah. We got Infinite in here. Infinite, we got your favorite people in here today. Mr. Spock said, Mr. Muhammad said Yaqub was a god or he was Adam, but he was not one of the 23 scientists from the year 15,107 years ago today. Well, Yaqub was supposed to be the 24th scientist. What is a real devil? Is that, what's that? Is that, did you say that just for the answer? Because that's another very controversial one. It's very controversial that ours says any man. I'm not exactly sure what the other version says, but some other versions doesn't say any man. And so that's another one of those controversies that's out there, right? Because, you know, another one of those $24,000 questions. Can a black man be dead? You know, I'm already clear on this. To get to the pinnacle of the potential of the original man, right? You have to begin with being an Asiatic black man, and then go through the steps and stages to be God in the universe, to grow and develop. You know, to make the devil, one must begin with the original man, and then go through the stages that it takes to arrive at a real devil. So, you know, that's another one. That is another one of those. You know, in my time, it appears that that one's not going to die. So, if Megan said most people subscribe to a comic book version of God, I mean, you know, you can say comic book, or you could say just, you know, the Christianity when we learn. You know, that, you know, God is a magical being with, you know, all these special powers. You know, we got that from Christianity. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of the more comic book stuff that I would say comes kind of with these ideas, right? That you know, we do in fact have these magical powers. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, so, you know, if I buy your particular Irish Moss formula, you know, or if I, you know, listen, you know, we have fun sometimes, you know. If I eat Born Mastermind's diet, shout out to Born Mastermind. You know, but yeah, if I eat Born Mastermind's diet, then I can achieve these magical powers. You know, that stuff gets comic book. I would.
Stars got also a line, G.
What you said? You cut off.
You hear me?
Nah. Keep going in and out or something. 7 or 8 thirds. So is God in terms of coming from man? Well, you know, whatever they got the sayings there. I can't quote it there. Probably somebody knows a little better than me, you know, God is not begot or begotten. What is it? It's not beget or begotten or whatever, you know. But man is a stage, right? That a male seed has to go through in order to be God. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the type of boy that you are, right, is going to build up the type of man that you are. And the type of man that you are, right, is going to build up, you know, the type of God that you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, and at one point, you know, the type of God that you are, you know, is going to determine how you manifest love. You see what I mean? So to say God comes from man, yes, I mean, it wouldn't be right and exact. You see what I mean? However, another say, you know, that, you know, this is kind of the meaning behind it, is that you got to be a man before you can be God. You see what I mean? Because if you can't stand on a square this high, how you going to stand on a square this high? Where did the great understanding come from? In it, it said Yakub is not a man. He's not a man, he's man himself. Um, Great understanding. Is that Armando Johnson? Yeah, I had to get back to you on that. Who wrote the Great Understanding? Mr. Spot. Drop a little jewel right here. Yakub showed and proved that he was God by making the devil. Now I got to show and prove I'm God by removing him off my planet. Y'all's friend is really going in today. What is this? Dude, you gotta go hustle on your own page. What is this? Who's this person? Your page. 704 Joe. Trying to catch up here. Edward Green said there's no two things in the universe that's equal. God, Abi said, unfortunately, in this civilization, socioeconomic status is built on education. Yeah. And, look, that's, what I told my kids, what I mean, in terms of what Wise was saying, that, in terms of education, right? In terms of education, you can educate yourself. You're going to school because at the end of it, they're going to give you a paper, right? That say you can move on all levels of society. That's what you get in there. You get a paper that says you can move through levels of society that everybody else can't. They haven't gone through with that labor, right? To be in their world. But in terms of education, that's something that you have to achieve for yourself. So, just got the little low battery alert there, right? It's about that time anyway. Start winding this one down. Anybody got any last questions? Put that in the end. Oh yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, Mr. Spot. Yeah, it says any other people lessons say any grafted man. Right, right. That's the other version. To my knowledge, that other version is the NOI version. Yeah, Mrs. Spock says Supreme Wisdom version. Yeah, so I'm sheltered. Sheltered. I haven't been, I haven't been exposed to these things. K Bar. Yeah, K Bar. Who wrote the Great Understanding, K Bar? K Bar keeps these things on cap. FDJ Beats. The stars. Oh yeah, nah, not the stars. It's the well, yeah, it's the whole the galaxy. Galaxies are coming closer together because of the orbit around the what is it, Beta Reticuli? No, it's the Sirius binary star system. But it still comes down to the diet. See, if you don't eat the diet, then when the stars align, you're gonna burn up. But El Divine, the signs for El Divine, man. Yeah, man. Yo, what the hell happened to? I mean, Pages is the great understanding. I'm not that familiar with the plus degrees in general. You know what I'm saying? you know, a lot of the stuff that's in those degrees, right? I learned from being around the people that wrote those degrees. And so with a lot of them, I actually saw the degrees later. And by the time I saw them, I already, you know, like that stuff that y'all used to get from Dumont. You ever got that stuff from Dumont? See, I got all that stuff mouth to ear. You know, different people you might, you know, you kick it with, and you know, you think, nah, I used to build together. Some of them are still. FDJB said having knowledge of self actually is a superpower these days. DC Brown says some hospitals in St. Louis have placed mandatory vaccine for Guinness virus. Anybody know about the Guinness? That's what we got to deal with it. Biden, look, I told y'all about lock him up, throw it away, keep joking. I don't want to fuck with this nigga here. I told y'all about it. They see me, listen, man. I learned early in the game. The good cop and the bad cop is both taking you the same place. Good cop ain't letting you go. Don't tell him nothing. That's the G. See, he ain't gonna act like he let you go if you just tell him what happened. You rather deal with the bad cop. Because see, at least he was sending you down there with some jacked up shit. You might, now you done cooperated with this good nigga here that's putting you in the same place. So I don't, you know, neither one of them is my friends, man. Listen, man, you know, see, first of all, just there's some things, right? There's some things that you don't play. There's some things where, listen, man, ain't no friends in this. Like, look, when we get outside this square circle right here, whatever it is that we do in this square circle, then we can be friends. I remember a couple years ago, it was these two brothers that I'm pretty sure they went to Duke to play basketball. And they both came into the league at the same time. They had to go to the summer league, you know, and both of them was at a point where it's like they had to show and prove to hold a spot. And yo, the one player, the one brother, they was playing, and he did something, he injured his brother. I mean, I'm sure he didn't set out to injure him, but it's like, nah, son, I gotta make it in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? See, we play all that brother shit Thanksgiving. I see you back at the house. But in between these lines, Holmes, I don't know you. I don't know you like that, friends. Same mama. I know you like that, Holmes. And see, politics and economics is games like that. When you don't play, ain't no friends, man. Ain't no friends. It's just people that you can work with as a means to your ends. And see, let me tell you something too. Ain't really no enemies. See, if it was, right, you wouldn't see, for instance, like right now, any two countries, you see Britain and France do things together, in terms of economically and politically, militarily. You know how many hundred, in fact, they got something called the 100 Years' War that was between them two. You know how many wars, hundreds and hundreds of wars that these people had against each other. And now they do business because there ain't no friends, there ain't no enemies. It's just motherfuckers in your way and people that you can work with as a means to your ends. So Biden, I tell you, listen, that's one good thing about this here. This on audio and videotape. I've been told y'all about lock him up, throw away the key Joe. I've been told y'all with this broad here, what she was gonna be about. I told y'all, pay attention. Let's see what happens. See, they got something called the first 100 days. Where this is a time when, from what I understand, it started with the Kennedy administration that he had some, he was promising. Oh, no. FDR, these first 100 days, I'm gonna be doing all these things to get us out of the Great Depression. And so ever since then, it became a thing, the first 100 days, that when you get in there, like you just got elected, you just, you know what I'm saying? So the kind of, political will, the political energy that's surrounding you, right, is so great at that time, right after you win, that, okay, now you get in there and you start implementing the policies that you campaign on. 100 days pass. All you niggas that was acting like we was gonna lose our hood card if we don't vote for Biden. What you got? What you got to show for that? Did you receive more vote? So that's my answer. What happened with Biden? Trade disappeared. Yo, my man. What is this? You got the Indians here now? What are you doing here? It's a casino. Get out of here. You gotta go hustle on your own page, man. Got up, he said Biden did not reach that vaccination milestone. Well, look, I had to tell you, I never said nothing, like just straight up, no, that wasn't the case. But, I was, let's say skeptical about some of the theories about where the, what was the origin of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So, some of the things that's come out about it, right now, yeah, like I said, that, this born day, that's what I would say, this particular born day, I ain't seen nothing yet. Chief said, so for Black people, they made, yeah, I guess Juneteenth is some kind of national holiday now, so I'm not sure what happened, but because I never heard of it before, and then all of a sudden now it's everywhere. Somebody brought up a good point, is that you got so many people, like right now, it's not solidified in a way, right? That we could really use it as a show of solidarity. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like everybody's not from New York, but you might have heard of it. In New York, you got the Puerto Rican Day Parade, you got the Caribbean Parade, So when you have the Caribbean Parade, right, there's nothing else going on with West Indians in the city. Like if you not around Eastern Parkway, right, Flatbush, areas that is got a heavy population of West Indians, they had their parties going on or whatever. The night before the parade, you got celebrations that go on. But there's nothing else, all the solidarity, to my knowledge, at least on the East Coast, like you got people that come from the Caribbean to come to the West Indian parade. You understand what I'm saying? And so, first of all, as an economic juggernaut, like I said, people come out here, so you got to have economics. People have to have places to stay. People have to have things. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is the political solidarity that it shows. So what I'm saying is, for instance, right, there's been a lot of, events that have occurred during the Caribbean parade, right, where, a lot of, a good part of the political establishment wanted to see the parade either gone or greatly reduced, but it can't happen because of how much solidarity it is. No politician is going to touch it because if you're a Democrat, you will lose Brooklyn. You will lose Brooklyn if you do something against all the West Indians like that. And so you see the same thing with the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Now, the West Indian Day Parade takes place in Brooklyn pretty much. It runs through West Indian neighborhoods. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, on the other hand, comes up Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. So it goes through the, not just the white area, it goes through one of the richest, avenues in America. So you got Vanderbilts and that type of people live up there. They wanted to see that stopped. They didn't want the Puerto Ricans to come through their neighborhood, but they couldn't stop them because of the amount of solidarity, the amount of economics it produced, right? And they know that if you do something against them, you will lose the Bronx. You're going to lose. If they go against you, you lose in the Bronx. See, we don't have a thing like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that, having all of these separate Juneteenth celebrations, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I'm just saying that that's a byproduct of having all of these separate celebrations, right? And not kind of bringing it together, right? And, even in terms of, I don't want to say rituals and make it seem religious, but I'm just saying in terms of, what are the things that we do to celebrate? You know what I mean? Just like You know, on Thanksgiving, you make turkey. On Christmas, you give out presents. On Easter, there's the Easter egg hunt. You know what I mean? What is it that, we do in terms of that day? You know what I mean? What is the thing that it sparks? You understand what I mean? Like, Thanksgiving and Columbus Day and 4th of July, all of these things is to spark patriotism. You know what I'm saying? These is all times when people think about the nation. Memorial Day, when you think about the people who was in the army and fought and died. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Is anyone looking at the screen right now? It's time to go. I don't know if anybody's looking at the screen, but if anybody's looking at the last comment that just came up, I'm done. I'm done now. I'm done. I apologize, but I am done now. That go. Got to go. Real talk. Said, isn't there a so-called African-American parade? Exactly. And a lot of people don't even know. It comes up 7th Avenue. My personal idea, right, is that that's one of the reasons it's not advertised like that, right? It's because they don't want it to they don't want it to gain that kind of steam. See, if all of a sudden, like you said, let's suppose these two things was merged, the African American Day Parade. You understand what I mean? So now it's starting to bring more and more people out. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Each one teaches us that nobody goes to it. Very few people even know that parade exists. You know what I'm saying? And so, even though, it's just a parade, the reality is that the Caribbean Day Parade and the Puerto Rican Day Parade show political solidarity on a level where they know they cannot mess with them. You know what I'm saying? And it's they're both economic juggernauts in their communities. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, like I said, you got people that come from Puerto Rico. They go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York. People that come from the West Indies that go to the Caribbean Day Parade in New York. You see what I'm saying? So that was the point. I don't know how long you was on, Rob, that I was saying is that that's also happening with the Juneteenth celebrations, because you got all of these separate celebrations, right? And no solidarity amongst it, right? So that, because I'm just saying that it's one of those things, right? That political people, they look at that. Like, yo, they got a million motherfuckers out there. That's a lot of votes. You gotta look at that. You understand what I'm saying? But when you just got a whole bunch of people in a backyard and no real thing that's being sparked, like, it's sparking, really, I can't call it, you know what I mean? Because to a certain degree, what are we celebrating? Everybody's just out, you're doing all this celebrating, what are you really doing though? Like, what is it sparking? Christmas and Easter is about the genesis of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Or, 4th of July is about patriotism. What is it really about? Or is it just something that, here, take that. Yeah, the African Street Festival. Yeah, me and my daughter was out there too. I went out there. Harlem Week is dying out. Harlem Week was one of those things that became a casualty of Giuliani. But yeah, I'm still we out of here, man. I can't. I'm done, man. Somebody's got to come get y'all, friend. I don't know. I'm done. So look, everybody that made it this far, of course, do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Share this out on your pages, your Instagrams and your Facebooks, your Twitters, et cetera, because that's really how we get our alerts out. You know what I mean? YouTube is not going to just sing. So make sure everybody does that. In the meantime, in between time, I'm about to sign off. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sign off, and hopefully we will make it on tomorrow. But I got a couple of things I got to be on my grizzly about. Shout out to my youngest daughter. Her born day is coming up in a couple of days. So gotta do what we gotta do here. In the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna say peace, and I'll see y'all on this ship with Father Elijah.